Good afternoon and welcome to Real Talk with Tamara. As you guys come into the room, please hit the like button. Also, if you have not subscribed to the channel, please subscribe to the channel. I hope that you guys are doing okay this afternoon. I know that I am. I was online. I always express the importance of hitting the like button. It helps to keep the video in the algorithm. And also, if you haven't subscribed, please hit the subscription button as we continue to go up. I want you guys to know that I appreciate you as I work hard to bring you honest content and good content. Okay. I wanted to speak about this subject because this is more so what I started on in the very beginning, of my career and speaking, even in just doing a talk show. Okay, and um, I know that I've spoken a lot about the Dawes case, and I will continue. Right. Um, but I want to also get back into what I initially started, and that is bringing attention to human trafficking and crimes against minors and things of that nature. Um, I was surfing the net and I was just, surfing, just on YouTube, just kind of surfing. And I came across this article, okay, or this video with WREG News in the Memphis area. And of course, you all know WREG always just kind of talk about um, things that happen in the Memphis area and in the surrounding areas. Okay, and they did a story about a DCS worker charged with solicitation of a minor, and I kind of want to let you all look at this right quick. Okay, hold on.
In the news at 6, an employee of the Tennessee Department of Children's Services has been fired after being accused of solicitation of a minor. Good evening, and thank you for joining us. I'm Greg Hurst.
Hello, I'm Stephanie Skurlock. 50-year-old Chris Baker of Bolivar worked as a team leader with the Office of Child Safety at DCS. That is until his arrest 2 days ago. As WREG's Mike Suriani reports, Baker is accused of misconduct with the 16-year-old girl.
Chris Baker is out on bond.
Chris, can I talk to you real quick? Chris, can I talk to you about the accusations against you?
With no intention of talking to WREG about the serious charges against him, Baker had been working for the Tennessee Department of Children's Services and became the subject of an investigation involving a 16-year-old Bolivar girl.
Had a note left on her car at a business in Bolivar, and she took that note to the Bolivar Police Department along with her parents.
Sergeant Aubrey Richardson works with the Tennessee Internet Crimes Against Children Task Force at the Jackson PD and says Bolivar police asked the task force to help in the investigation and the note's connection to Chris Baker.
The Bolivar Police Department knew very early on his identity, and they shared that with me.
Richardson would not discuss the contents of the note, but investigators using a decoy made contact with Baker and arranged a meeting.
The suspect showed up in Jackson to a local park expecting to have sex with an underage female.
Baker was arrested and charged with solicitation of a minor. The Department of Children's Services terminated Baker following an internal investigation which found gross misconduct. News of Baker's arrest sparked quick reaction in Bolivar.
I got a 14-year-old daughter, and just predators out there, and it's a lot to worry about.
In Bolivar, Mike Suriani, WREG News Channel 3.
Okay, you guys, that was in Bolivar, Tennessee, which is like right up the road, like by Jackson, Tennessee. I love Jackson. It's a small little city that I actually had an interest of maybe retiring in one day, if they don't do too much innovative stuff, right? But I wanted to talk about this because I remember when I first started doing my TV show. all about 9 years ago, almost 10 years ago. And even though I was working for the police department, people would text me. And I could remember somebody text me and they texted me several times saying DCS is selling children. Well, what I thought was, because I know for some reason DCS has dropped their standards as it relates to the people that they hire. I don't know why, when that's the government, they have unlimited money and they kind of drop their standards, and they was picking up anything and bringing them in off of the street, right? To work for them. And I was thinking that when they was telling me that they meant DCS was selling children's social security numbers, because that was around that time that the IRS has started cracking down on people putting, tax companies just randomly just putting anybody's child's social security numbers on random people's taxes who had never even laid an eye on them. Okay. So I didn't really elaborate. I didn't send any messages back when that person kept sending me that text message saying, could you talk about that DCS is selling children? And so I later found out, as I started really, really getting into looking into human trafficking and things of that nature, and how a lot of these how a lot of these groups that target that was really going in on the government and on a lot of these agencies that are supposed to be protecting children. And I found this interesting because this is like a prime example of what they don't necessarily talk a whole lot about, but it has been going on for a very long time. I had received a call from a young lady and her boyfriend probably about 2 weeks ago. I didn't know what to think about that. I'm very meticulous about stuff at this point, especially since I know that there are people that are obsessed with me. Our security has kind of heightened until they indict these internet freaks on YouTube and their people. And so someone had reached out to me, and I actually did some research. I didn't do any research in the very beginning, but I started doing research, and she had reached out to me about, she wanted to bring some people to justice because she had, when she was younger, she had been the R word, okay, in a school that she had been sent away to overseas. And she spoke about a lot of Hollywood people, and that Jeff Einstein or whatever, Epstein or whatever. And she spoke about some more people in government, and it really sparked my attention. And she was wanting to hire us to do some work. And I know when you're looking at stuff like that, first of all, it was overseas, okay? And it have been very interesting, but it was overseas for the most part. We're really booked, and it would have taken a lot of work and time, okay? And she went into a lot of things that had happened to them in that school that she had been sent away to. And she wanted to talk, she wanted to bring awareness to that. And I said that to say this: so many of our children are vulnerable. Sometimes I think we're not fighting for the right things. Okay. Um, you know, um, I always say, when people want to go back and forth about the president and things of that nature, and it's good to watch that race, but we have to be very meticulous and watch very carefully the people that we put into office in your city and county and your state. That governor, I was looking at where, the governor said that there couldn't be any more drag races. Child, you have folks out there, I guess for drag queens or whatever, you had people out there in droves. Okay. But crime, I'm talking about in the Memphis area, acting a damn fool. But crime is up. Those very same people who a lot of these black people was out there kicking up and going to jail for and shaking their asses, a lot of these men and stuff. And with some women out there, they was just kicking up a fuss. Okay, a lot of them had to be arrested. They wanted to try to throw damn bricks and stuff in the window because the governor, who should not be the governor, okay, because he's really just taking this state down. But I see why he's able to consistently be elected, and I'm gonna get into that. He shouldn't be the governor based on a lot of bills and stuff that he has signed, but they decide that they want to get at him because he decides to stop drag racing or drag queen shows or something in the state of Tennessee. Okay. And you had all of these Memphians out there acting a damn fool when you got black boys and girls that are dying every single day. You got all this crime because of a lot of the bills that he signed, like the gun laws and things of that nature that he has changed that he never should have, to enable a lot of this crime. And they want to go and try to beat him up because he's stopping a damn drag race. And see, that's the reason why I say a lot of our people have their heads in the sand. You know, when people come to me, first of all, I don't let people tell me what I should be thinking. Okay. If you want me to think if you try to force me to think a certain way, I'm going to deliberately go against it, because you don't run me. Nobody. Okay. That's what I'm gonna do. If I respond, I'm gonna go against it, because I don't let people control me, right? But I think, you know, when people come to me and they go, well, what you think about that? You know, they this and that. I don't think nothing, because I always like to keep the main thing. And I've been in this long enough to know what the problems are. Okay. I delve into stuff, and I've watched it long enough and been around the people enough, because a lot of these politicians I've been around, they've been right over in my office. I know what the problem is. And so I got to thinking about that Governor Bill Lee. Okay. And I was like, why is he still the governor? You know, he's the reason crime is up is because of a lot of these bills that he has signed to enable these people to be able to carry weapons, to do this, to do that, and he should not be elected. And then I saw when he was over at the Y, okay, and I'm gonna show y'all what I'm talking about. When he was over at the Y, MCA, that they opened up. And by the way, I grew up around in that area. When we moved out of the hood of that YMCA, been there many times, and everything. And it's beautiful, okay, but I saw all of those black politicians who ain't did nothing in Memphis gathered right around him and the preachers. And I said, that's the problem right there. I think it's a darn shame that our children are suffering the way that they do. Okay. And people take advantage of our children, because you got a lot of these pimps that have just posted up, whether it's on social media or anywhere, that feel like that they can take advantage of our children and put them into prostitution. And now you got a lot of women, because some of these men have labeled them madams. They have jumped right into it as it relates to taking advantage of these children. And I know a lot of people say, well, you have to understand, some of these kids be wanting to do that. Okay, just because a 15-year-old has been misguided and probably has been sexually abused and things of that nature, and they say, well, I want to be a prostitute, you old. So that means you're going to put her out on the street just because she say it and she's a child. Okay. And so that's why I say, you know, I found this story extremely interesting. Okay. But let me get back to him. That's why I say that we have to watch the people that we elect in our cities and counties, because they affect us directly. All you got to do when you start seeing a lot of these white people, okay, and black too, but especially some of these white people that has never put their foot or feet in the hood, don't have any empathy as it relates to what's going on in the black community, and consistently sign bills that's going to hurt the black community, probably because they prejudice anyways. Okay, you wonder how they able to continuously get a foot. And all you got to do is go to the church, go to the big churches, or go to some of these events that I'm getting ready to show you. If I could pull it up, and you will be able to see exactly, okay, why they are. I'm trying to pull up something right quick. I'm trying to pull up something. And I'm happy that they rebuilt that YMCA. Okay. I am very happy that they have, because like I said, I grew up around that area. I'm just happy to see that. And if they're going to offer programs to the children, because I'm gonna tell you something, I do have a soft heart when it comes to children and when it comes to these young adults, because I know these young adults ain't had nothing um to work with. Okay, a lot of them. And so it pulls on my heartstrings, because I see a lot of older people taking advantage of them, okay? Because they ain't had no leadership at home, a lot of them. Hold on, I want to show you guys this.
Hiring new cops, it's a snag.
We saw our 50 years of hard work go down the drain within 3 minutes.
What may be turning people away from the job? And some say there is a way to bridge the gap. Tonight on News Channel 3 at 10.
Wanted to show that. Okay, I'm not gonna because it's a lot of, it's quite a few more minutes, but I wanted to show how that person was out there. He was cutting up because he signed a bill stopping drag shows, but you know, all of this crime, and that's, I mean, to me they was very professional as it relates to him. I know a lot of people ain't gonna like that. She just like them police to show up. I think they was very patient with him. He resisted. Well, why they had arrested him? Well, there's this law called disorderly conduct, and he was beating on the window, screaming at the governor. You knew damn well they was gonna call the police to have him arrested. I mean, it seems to me, even though he didn't have a weapon, if you're belligerent like that and you beating on the window, even though I don't give a damn about the governor, because I think he's racist and prejudiced. But I think that same energy while he's out there, because he was out there with a bunch of other white people, okay? But they wasn't acting a fool like him. They put the cuckabug head up to act a fool and go to jail, okay? And they stood back, okay? But I'm willing to bet, and I don't mean no harm, them same folks, okay, that he was out there with, they're not protesting as it relates to what they are allowing to happen in the Black community, because poverty ignites crime. Signing all these bills to allow these people to have weapons without licenses, and they're felons and things of that nature, that causes more crime. How come they ain't got that? They put a battery in his back and he gone to jail, and you know, folks gonna say, well, they picked him up. Well, he sat his ass in the middle of the street. They was nice to him. They called him ma'am and everything. He a man. And they were saying, ma'am, they was respecting him when he wasn't nothing but a man, okay? But he was out there acting up. But you don't see him when he was talking about genocide against our people or something he was saying. But you out there protesting about a drag show, but that not that same energy as it relates to what's really going on in the Black community and all these other bills that he has been signing that is helping to enable this crime and stuff, especially in the Memphis community, because Memphis is a majority. You see more crime in Memphis because Memphis is majority Black. Tennessee is a red state, but Memphis is a chocolate city, okay? It's more Black people in Memphis than any other city, I do believe, in Tennessee, okay? So, you know, I wanted to talk about that. I kind of blended all that in, and it's a whole lot more stuff that I can say. You know, when people say, well, they should, well, at that he started resisting, okay? They was real nice to him. He started resisting and everything. That's a charge. Resisting arrest. That's a charge. Okay. But when you're belligerent and you're beating on the window, those officers had to come and do what they were supposed to do because they told him to stop and he wouldn't. Now I could see if I think I would have more empathy for him if he was talking about Bill Lee, you know, what you doing and allowing to happen in the Black community because of the bills that you're signing, like these gun bills and all of this other stuff, I would have felt that. But you talk about a drag show, okay? You're talking about a drag show. All right. But I said that to say this. Remy, stop. I said that to say this, okay? That Bill Lee, when he was inside of that building, it wasn't nothing but I don't know how I got into all of that, but it was nothing but black politicians, okay? Black politicians and black preachers with big churches in Memphis that gathered and stood around him and praised him and prayed for him, and he ain't did nothing but hurt the black community, especially in Memphis, right? With the bills that he signed and passed and things of that nature. Okay. So that's why I say you have to be very meticulous about who we elect. Let me get back to, because see, I know I done jumped all over, jumping all over hoops, because that right there kind of blew me away because I had not seen that one. Okay. When it comes to these politicians, because they help to enable a whole lot of stuff. They secretly pass laws to make pedophilia and things of that nature less stringent, on pedophiles, the laws and things of that nature. And that's why I say we have to be very meticulous, because our children are really a target. It's more and more people that are just pathetic and sick as it relates to these kids. Okay. Because if a girl is you call fast and she's 16, 17 years old and she say, I want to be a whore, just you in your 20s and you in your 30s, and she said, well, she said she had wanted to be a whore. Why I got to go to jail? Because you's a F Negro. That's why you need to go. You put in a child that is already, because see, no sane person, especially a child, wants to be a whore, not unless she has been already exposed to some stuff that she should not have been exposed to as a child. Normally, molestation and things of that nature. Okay. So, I wanted to talk about that. I found that interesting with, DCS, like I said, and the reason I talked about this is because more and more people, you have to understand what I found is more and more people, especially pedophiles, they run for office because they have a goal, and they immediately quietly start changing laws to make laws less stringent for violators of children, okay, and to desensitize things as it relates to children, okay. And so, y'all, that's why I say we have to be extremely, extremely careful, because our children are under attack. I see where a lot of these people have set up, a lot of these pimps have set up on social media. Now, it's one thing when a grown woman, decides that she wants to sell something. Okay. It's not for me to understand. I don't do it. Okay. It's not for me to understand what a grown person decides that they want to do. That's them. But when you start bringing children in and helping to ruin the lives of young adults and children, I have a problem with it. I think you're garbage. Even if you're a woman, you're garbage. Okay. So, hey, anyways, I wanted to talk about that, and I'm gonna start talking more about that. Each and every time I start trying to get in stuff like this, somebody starts messing with me as it relates to, I guess, trying to bully me with this young dog situation, make me go do 4-5 more videos. Okay. But I want you guys to please like, share, and subscribe. I want you guys to know how much I appreciate you so much. Definitely hit the like button. The video that I did a live last night. Okay. And it's going to come back up. But what happened was somebody, reported it because of, I played a video that had Yo Gotti in it. I don't know if the Breakfast Club did it, or if Yo Gotti's people, because I know they watch, okay, did it. Either way it go, I'll be glad to trim the shit out. It's on Breakfast Club anyway, where he was smirking when they shot Dolph. Okay, I guess he don't want nobody to know that, but it's gonna come back up when they finish trimming that out. Okay, but I want you guys to please like, share, and subscribe, because they got it blocked. Okay, please like until his face is out of my video, and it needs to be out. Okay, but please like, share, and subscribe. I'll talk with you guys later.